how to run events even if you're a shy person. So, in this episode today, here's what we're going to be talking about. In today's episode, I'm going to be focusing on why you don't need to worry about being shy. You're basically not alone. Also, how you'll be able to identify with those people that come along to your events who are also shy. And thirdly, how to take the focus off you and the secret to being able to put the focus on them so that you can have a far more enjoyable event. So let's get straight into it. For my own personal story about shyness, I have done a Myers-Briggs test many years ago, and I was quite surprised at the results. Actually, the leader of the seminar was quite surprised at the results. She said to me, "David, you're a borderline introvert and extrovert at the same time." So I had essentially an ENFJ or INFP personality profile. And she said, however, that's rather fitting. She said that you have intuition, and she said that you want to help people. And I thought, yes, that's kind of right. Yes, that's right. So what I believe here is, and this is my first point, is that people who are shy usually are the ones who are in fairly creative types of activities. They might be writers, they might be singers, they might even be stage comedians or even on TV. Yes, there are shy people everywhere. Even some teachers that I've met have also been shy, seminar leaders, you name it. There are quite a lot of professions where shy people turn up. I once used to be a regular on a community TV program, and I was thrown the task originally by a good friend of mine who said to me, "David, look, I'm really actually a shy person. I prefer to actually do community radio than to do community TV. This would be a great program for you to take over." So, lo and behold, I took over a program where she thought that she was the shy one. So how about that? So look, if you're wanting to run social or business events and you feel that this might be a barrier, all I can say here is just remember you're in extremely good company. So take that on board as well, and I would say just continue on regardless. My second point is, remember, if you're a shy person, you'll relate particularly well to those that are shy that are coming along or even thinking of coming along to your events. And this can be particularly important because you'll have a particular type of empathy with them, and these people can wind up being some lifelong friends. When I was running some events back in the 1990s, I was quite pleasantly surprised and quite happily surprised that some of the shy people that came along to some of my events have still been friends of mine after many decades. And I may speak to them on the phone, they might leave interstate and so forth like that. But it is an important point. You will have a particular attraction there for shy people because they'll be able to speak to you, they'll be able to seek you out, whereas maybe they may not necessarily be able to identify with other different personality types. So your shyness may actually be a good magnet for attracting similar people, and thereby those people may not necessarily book to other people's events because they recognise that you're a safe haven. So please consider that as an asset, not as a liability. Process of running events is that you don't need to focus on your shortcomings whilst you're actually running your events. I believe it's important to realise that running your events is all about the person that you're actually, or the people that you're actually running your events for, and not about yourself. The more you think about others and think about their experience in experiencing your event, whether that be a cocktail party, whether that might be a social walk, whether it might be a seminar that you're running or something like that, is to focus more upon what your people that are coming along to your events, those that your guests that are there, to focus on their experience and not to focus on yourself. The more you focus on them, it'll be tons more easier for you to exert yourself, move forward, and make things happen. And that's where you need to have your focus on in the beginning, is to focus on the customer experience And in the process, the rewards will be that you'll have a more enjoyable experience yourself. So what I would say here is, and this is something that I've been able to do is quite a long time, is when people come along to my events, I spend time meticulously trying to introduce those people around to other people in my group. I make it a point to be able to go up and chat with them, shake hands with them, to be able to find out what their needs and what their desires are. And if there's any particular like-minded people in my group that I can introduce them to, where they might be able to start a conversation. By having that kind of a routine in running my events, I've been able to take the focus off me, put the focus on them, give them something to think about, and make their day special. And in the process, the rewards come back to you by doing so. So consider that to be one way how to go with your shyness. Don't focus on your shyness, focus on the customer. So, what really is shyness? Well, shyness essentially is a state of mind. It's essentially a position where you're second guessing yourself, you're taking things fairly cautiously, and as a direct result, you'll subdue any particular behaviour that may be criticised, or simply to avoid any particular adverse reaction. So that's why shy people do tend to, and I should know this myself, do tend to shelter themselves from any potential criticism or potential dislike. And is it really a particular problem for running events? Well, I think probably not. Essentially, what you need to do is be a person who takes action regularly, and if you're a person who follows through on their plans, I believe shyness can easily be overcome. And it's just more of a case of being able to do things regularly, get into a routine, and to be able to overcome any particular problems that you have simply by action instead of reaction, and simply to get used to doing a different kind of a routine. If you like this particular video, which I sure hope that you do, I produce videos like this every week, so it's my joy and my pleasure to be able to share more of these videos with you. So if you like them, please hit subscribe and join up to my channel. I produce videos like this all the time, and have a look at these videos that I've got here, which can also help your business and your events that you're running.